You know what doesn't make sense to me is you spend 2 days with V and all of a sudden you realize, oh, shit, I actually don't know if I got these feelings for, for James. You spend time with V and be like, oh, you know what, maybe V's more my type.
The 2 days she spent with Dave, she felt more connected.
To say I'm furious is an understatement. It's an understatement. I lack the words to sort of mention how I feel at the moment. My blood is boiling. I'm already on Sky Scanner. I'm looking for a flight. I need to go to Australia. I need to go and confront, Dave. The audacity to play with my girl. It's been 5 couch sessions and he hasn't told her that he's not feeling her romantically. The audacity to sit there and suddenly pretend like, he's confused. I am not buying it. Somebody come and hold me down because I'm on my way to Australia. And then Adrian is that guy. He's going to say what needs to be said. Whether it's coming from a place of malice or from a place of love and care and empathy, only he knows. And then Karine, I'm side-eyeing her. Last week she was the victim because of, Afina and Jamie, and people stood up for her and called her a victim. This week, because of the words that came out of her mouth, she is now a victim to Adrian, Afina, and Paul. Make that make sense. You say derogatory things about someone and yet you're the victim because somebody revealed the things that you're saying. It's the audacity. It's the audacity for me. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 12, Episode 28. So you have Jeff and Ree. They're in a very good space. They're happy to be back together again because obviously they were separated during the partner swap. Ree is excited that she's with Jeff. She really is excited to be back home with him. And I don't know. Their journey is very difficult to say because we barely get to see them outside of a few seconds where we're told they're doing very well, and then they'll suddenly bring in Jackie and Ryan, and then that's the end. We swing over to Jackie and Ryan. So I'd love to think I've got a holistic view of their journey, but I don't. I really don't. Outside of their issues with Jackie, to say we've seen their day-to-day, to say we've seen any hurdles, yes, Ree is non-confrontational, so even if something were worrying her, it would be difficult for her to bring it on camera with Jeff. I think she really likes him and she values his friendship, so whatever's going on, she would always keep it until the cameras had gone away to discuss it. So their journey is a bit difficult. All I know is they're doing very well. They seem to be very compatible, and that's all we know about their journey. Jeff obviously is talking about his fears that, how Ryan must be feeling given after he's listened to Jackie's letter, because Jackie read her letter to Jeff first, so Jeff knows everything that was in the letter. So he's worried about Ryan's reaction and he can't wait to see them at the dinner party to see what's going on with the two of them. You have Ryan, he's preparing a drink for Jackie, and then Jackie's giving him instructions on how she wants her drink poured, and she wants him to turn it upside down so that she has a couple of the pulps in her drink, and he does that. And Ryan is saying he feels some type of way about Jackie's letter, but he's going to try and digest it first before he reacts to it or responds to it, and so he's taking time out to think about everything she said. Jackie, on her part, she's at peace because she feels she's expressed all her concerns about the marriage. I've seen a TikTok of her. I've ended up sort of showing that I'm not interested. I don't want to see any of her TikToks because it's every other minute you're getting a TikTok. And she said her letter was meant to sort of incite a reaction from Ryan because she knew the person she was married to, so she wanted him to react a certain way. So this is why she did that. You have Elliot. Elliot is, feeling some type of way. I think Elliot knows this is the end of his marriage, or he's seeing this as the end of his marriage, because it seems Veronica has walked out again after the incident whereby her letter was more an appreciation of Dave than it was a letter to express her concerns about her marriage. The fact that he called them the Oscar goes to, I think is something that she was frustrated by because she is an actress after all, so we can't knock it. She can't be upset that she's been told the Oscar goes to. If she's not genuine, she's not genuine. If she's been brought in to play a character as a wife for Elliot because Elliot, they couldn't match him with anybody else and they didn't want him to break anyone else, then she has to take it for what it is. You have Afina. Afina and Adrian, they seem to be in a good space, but Afina is in her feelings because of the comment that was made by Karina. So she is looking forward to the dinner party because this is something that she wants to address, because she feels like if Karina could say that behind her back, then it needs to be said to her face, because why say something behind my back and not say it to my face? I don't get it. Karina, this is what I feel. Karina is the expert's pet, in the sense that she's Latina like, Alexandra, and I think she's known how to sort of manipulate Alexandra to defend her, because she hasn't addressed the things that were said in the letter by Paul, or whatever her issues with Paul are. All she said to him is, I need time to think about it. She talks about the fact that, she's going to have to bring it up with, Afina. She'll pull Afina aside. And it's like, why are you pulling her aside? Why not discuss it at the table? You know that Afina is easy to manipulate, so you want to pull her aside and have a conversation with her. They agree with Paul that yes, she needs to be pulled aside. And it's like, why are we pulling her aside? What are we pulling her aside for? At the end of the day, this is an issue between the two of you. You're the ones that disrespected her. If you're pulling her aside, you're pulling her aside to apologize. You're not pulling her aside to sort of rationalize, because she said, oh, I was very upset about the partner swap. It's not like I overreacted. Madam, you were in tears. You're in fetal position. You were crying your eyes out, and suddenly you didn't overreact. You overreacted to the extent that you told your man you didn't want him with Afina because he had something to do with Afina's sister. So in your mind, you assumed that he was going to do the same thing with Afina. You didn't think Afina had autonomy enough to say no to Paul if he made any advances. So please sit down. And then my girl, my heart is breaking for Jamie. It really is breaking, because I don't think she deserved this. I don't think she deserved for Dave to behave the way he's behaved. Neither do I think anyone expected Dave to do this, because you have Jamie sitting in their apartment. She's just reflecting on their journey. She's reflecting on the things that have happened, and she's wondering, what's going to happen. And they bring Dave in. Dave is sort of spaced out. He's spaced out, and it's difficult to understand why is he spaced out, because at the end of the day, these two have been a happy couple up until they had partner swaps. So what happened between him and Veronica? I saw an interview where he said nothing happened, but I feel like something happened. It's either Veronica made a pass, or he sort of told her that if not for Jamie, he would be interested, because Jamie's saying to him, I want to know what's going on. Are you not feeling me? If you're not feeling me, let me know so that I can move on. If you are, then let me know as well, because at the end of the day, I am in this position whereby I've told you I love you, but you have kept quiet. You haven't responded either way. You haven't told me yes, you love me, or no, you don't. And so it's very sort of disturbing for me, because I'm in the situation whereby I've developed serious feelings for someone, and that person might not feel me the same way I feel them. And for him to continue to sit there like a robot, it doesn't make sense to me. The storyline is not making sense. It's either quite a big chunk of it has been taken out, or something happened between him and Veronica that we don't know about, because he's very insensitive. It's not like he's comforting her and saying, he told people he wanted someone to see him. Jamie is seeing him, but he's not seeing her. And so she got so frustrated, she told him to leave. And he walked out without an I'm sorry or anything. And it's like, this man is not serious. It's time for the dinner party, and we all know it's about to go down, because that's what happens at the dinner party. So you have everybody getting ready to go. They get in their cars, and there's 4 people that are going in separate cars. And the main reason, I think the instigator of the reason why these people are in 4 separate cars is Veronica and Adrian, because Adrian told the truth and Veronica was looking out for Veronica. That's the impression that I get. So she decided to get what she wanted, because Veronica is in a separate car from Elliot. Jamie's in a separate car from Dave, because she's asked him to leave the room. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens when they are around one another in front of everyone. Because when they had the conversation, Dave was asking her, do you want us to speak now, or do you want us to wait until the dinner party? Anyway, so the first person to walk in is Jamie, and she's taken aback. I think producers were messy. I don't know whether they did that because they wanted her to be sat down before everybody else walked in, or whether they just wanted her to sit there awkwardly and just sit and watch and hope someone would come in. She sat there, she's pondering what's happening, and she was really hoping that Afina would walk in next, because apparently they're the closest of friends. So Afina and Adrian walked in, and Jamie, you could see her face light up because at least one of her closest friends has walked in. They were followed by Ree and Jeff. And Ree, we all know, is friends with Jamie. So Jamie was happy to have the comfort of people that she's close to. And they sat there for a bit before anybody else walked in, and Jamie sort of downloaded what had happened. Adrian already knows part of it. He doesn't know what's happened when they got to their apartment, but he knows the conversations that he had with Jamie. And so Jamie's downloading that, we have had this fallout with Dave because he says he's not feeling me romantically. I feel disconnected. I feel lied to. I feel deceived. I feel like I was in a fake relationship, because how do you wake up one morning and just say, sadly, I don't have any romantic feelings for you. I feel like he played me and he lied to me. And Jeff is sort of conflicted. He can't give an opinion because he's very close friends with Dave. So I think he's trying to keep it or reserve his opinion until Dave arrives so that he can hear what Dave says. Rhea is obviously very close friends with Jamie, and she feels for Jamie. Even Afina is really trying to console her friend because they can see that she's devastated. So Adrian eventually sort of makes it known to everybody what happened. He downloads the conversations that he had with Jamie. And you still have Jeff saying, I don't know how to feel because Dave is my closest friend in the experiment. And so I don't know what to say. Everybody's taken aback because they saw Jamie and Dave as the example or the embodiment of what the experiment stands for. You have TJ and Beth arrive next. They are surprised. They're surprised to see Jamie on her own, because as soon as someone walked in, Jamie was letting them know that she's there on her own, and that's what's happening. And so she sort of you had Jamie sort of confide in TJ and explain what happened. I think TJ had asked, and everyone is sad. Even the experts can't seem to sort of get their heads around what's happened, because nobody can sort of understand what Dave means by he doesn't have feelings. But then Adrian was able to say, even during the commitment ceremonies, he hasn't given an indication that he's got romantic feelings for this person. People have seen him play a character, because I saw an interview he did and he said he went to therapy, so it allowed him to receive someone like Jamie when he came into the experiment. So I don't know whether this is a narrative that they've been given so that we question whether they'll say yes on final vows, or whether this is the honest truth. Jamie was so hurt she took off her ring. And I really feel for my girl, because she's really tried for this man. She's really tried to make him seen, make him feel heard. And so for him to wake up one morning after spending time with Veronica and just say we're done, I don't get it. So next to walk in is Ryan and Jackie, and you have Jeff being surprised that they're walking in hand, and it's like, what did you expect, buddy? You know that they're very confusing. Even the experts themselves don't understand these two people, so the idea that you expected to understand them is just ludicrous. Obviously Jeff doesn't understand why, given the letter that he read, but hey, it is what it is. And then Karina's playing a character. Karina's playing a persona. That's the impression that I get. Karina's giving the last sibling vibes. And that's who she is, in the sense that now she's talking about the fact that she's afraid of Adrian and Rafina. And it's like, last week you were afraid of Jamie. Now you're afraid of Adrian and Rafina because you are afraid that they are very outspoken. But you're not afraid about the man punching the door. No, you are not. So she's worried that they're going to confront her and sort of ask her questions. And it's like, if you know you hate confrontation, then keep your mouth closed. How about that? Keep your mouth closed and you won't need to be confronted about the words that came out of your mouth. You're the one who said what you said about her sister. It's not like she came and she said those words the other way around. Elliot walks in on his own, and Rhea is taken aback because she thought she gave the best advice she could. So she's surprised to see Elliot walking on his own. Veronica walks in on her own and nobody stands up, and Elliot doesn't go to greet her. And it's like, people are now Team Elliot. People have seen through her mess, and I think the moment they find out about what happened between her and Dave, things are going to be even worse. Dave is on his own. Everybody can't seem to understand what's happening between Dave and Jamie, because nobody expected the two of them to be separated. Also, the idea that, he's going to walk in after she walked in on her own doesn't make sense. Dave walks in. The smile on Veronica's face is like, oh my God, what is it about Dave that she likes that much? It seems like she's more into him than he is into her. But then when we start seeing clips like this, then I become suspect, especially after Jono and Ellie last season. So I'm starting to think, did something happen? The guys stand aside with Dave and they sort of ask him, what's happening? What happened between you and Jamie? And for him to say, it's not like I hate the girl. Why didn't you tell her all along? She got to the extent of developing feelings for you, and you kept quiet and didn't tell her that I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling you the way you're feeling me. You just decided to keep quiet and play dumb. That's not fair. That's the most evil and most selfish thing you could do to anyone, in the sense that you play them and you make them think that they are, delulu, because they're seeing something that you are not. You knew what you were doing when you played up this relationship. The least you could have done is being honest with her. And that's it. And you can see that people like Jeff are disappointed because they've been championing for him. And now to find out that the guy they were championing for actually played the girl he's with is something they were not expecting. And I can't wait. I hope everybody confronts him because he needs to be spoken to about that. So everyone is called and told dinner's ready. So they all go to the table. Everybody's anxious. They want to, sit down. And there is a lot of tension. There's a lot of things going around. The main event, obviously, is Dave and Jamie and people wanting to know what's happening there. And you have Veronica sitting there like a Cheshire cat, wanting to know exactly, are they still together or are they not? And once everybody sat down, Karina knows what she's done. And she was very smart about it. Instead of addressing it at the table for everybody to hear what she said, she decided to take it aside. I don't know whether she thought production were never going to show it. You're on a reality dating show. What do you think? This is the drama that they live for. Even if the cast members don't know what you said, the producers are still going to play it to the viewers to watch it. And I don't get why every single time she is the victim and everybody else is the villain. Why is she allowed to get away with this? Why is she always? Last week she was the victim because Jamie was picking on her. This week she's the victim because she's worried about Afina and Adrian, and her husband is now a victim as well. So she sits down. Paul goes with them, with Afina. She calls Afina aside and the three of them sit down, and Afina's like, Paul, can you give us a second? We don't need an audience. So Paul leaves them to have a conversation, and she, the things I said, I was feeling insecure, I was feeling jealous. There is no justification for rudeness. There is never any justification for rudeness. Just because you're having a bad day doesn't mean everybody else should have a bad day. And the audacity to be upset that why was Afina told doesn't make sense. I didn't hear a sincere apology as far as I'm concerned. I didn't hear a sincere apology, and I did not hear a justification for those words. For her to say she was jealous because of the history, he didn't tell me that he had dated your sister, and he didn't tell me that he knew anyone in the experiment. So then how did you find out? How did you find out? Let us all in, because we want to know how you found out. This is what I would have said if I were Karina. I want to lift my hand up and sincerely apologize to you, your sister, and your family for the words that came out of my mouth. There is no justifiable reason. There is no excuse that I can give that can justify what I did. So I sincerely apologize to you. When we leave the experiment, I want to have a conversation with your sister and apologize to her as well, because I know there's a possibility she's going to see this. Because it's never acceptable for anyone to utter those words and make somebody else feel like they are less than. Those are the words that should have come out of her mouth. For Paul to come back and then sort of sit around after he's been asked to excuse them didn't make sense. I didn't know whether it was production that told him it was time for him to go and sit next to Karina. And then Karina to throw him under the bus and say to him, you threw me under the bus by saying it. You are my husband. You should have kept quiet. You should have kept this as a secret, as it's something that I told you in private. Well, she reported the door, so why should he not, report it to Afina? So what? He should have kept the secret. It's an uncomfortable secret. It's nothing that anyone should be proud to keep. At the end of the day, it needed to be aired out. The audacity that you have such thoughts that you feel like you're better than somebody else is not something that should be kept private. And I'm happy that Paul brought it out. I am. He brought it out, and he deserves to bring it out, because at the end of the day, you need to be made aware of your wrongdoings. If you can hold everybody else's feet to the fire, why can't you be held to your feet to the fire? You deserve that. You then have Jeff. Jeff has had enough. So he decides to call out Jackie and Ryan because they're pretending to be happy families. And he's sort of asking Ryan, how do you feel about the letter Jackie wrote? And Jackie's like, oh, well, it was important for him to hear it so that he could work on his ways and change himself. And it's like, Jackie, what do you need to change? Yes, Ryan needs to change certain things. What about you? That letter was disrespectful. Everybody could understand that it was a disrespectful letter. For her to try and justify that doesn't make sense. Lack of accountability vulnerability seems to be the main problem in this experiment, and lack of self-reflection as well is the main problem. Because if people were to sit down with themselves and say, okay, the words that I've written, if Ryan were to hear them, how would he feel? Or if he were to write them and read them out to me, how would I feel about that? And the moment you realize that, no, I wouldn't want someone to say that to me, that's the moment you change. And so for Jackie not to see what she did wrong doesn't make sense. I don't always support Ryan, but in this case, I'm Team Ryan. It's interesting that of all the people to bring up the topic, it was Ryan who brought up the topic. Because he said, I know there's a bit of tension between Jamie and Dave, but I don't know what the problem is. Can someone fill me in? And so Jamie explained everything that's been going on. And everybody's taken aback because everybody thought they were good. I think they saw them as the model for this experiment, as TJ has said. So the idea that suddenly they're in this space where Dave is just sitting there like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just as confused as, whatever. It's for me, I don't get it, because you can see your partner is breaking. You can see your partner is devastated. And for you to even just put your arm around her and just say, I am here, I care about you, and I am working my way to seeing if we can get a romantic connection. Jamie is right to ask him that we've been in this experiment for 3 months. He corrected her. He said 2 months, 2 months, whatever. We've been in this experiment for this long, and you haven't felt it necessary to let me know that, sorry, this is how I feel about you. I'm not developing any romantic feelings. I told you I loved you. When she told him she loved him, that's the opportunity for him to tell her, unfortunately, I'm not yet there. I think we need to take a moment and sort of reflect, or we need to take a couple of steps back, or we need to speak to the experts so that we get help on what to do in order to develop this connection. No, he sat there like an idiot and pretended as though he didn't know what was happening. I am here for Adrian, because Adrian said the quiet part out loud, because I don't think anybody else's head had gone that way, because he said, why is it you've been with Jamie, things have been great, suddenly you spend 3 days with Veronica, and Jamie's not your girl? Is it because Veronica is your type of girl? And everybody was waiting, because as soon as Adrian said that, everybody started to think, oh crap, we didn't even think about that. That could be the reason why. And he said, no, she's not my type. And it's like, oh, that's a slap in Veronica's face. And Veronica's like, oh, why are you saying that? Why are you saying? Well, my love, you've been smiling from ear to ear. And I'm here for Elliot saying, well, Veronica, when she came back, she said she had an amazing time. She said, this was the best time she's had in this experience, the time that she spent with Dave. And Dave was saying, oh, we were just laughing. Yes, you were laughing, but something else happened. What else happened? Because we all want to know, why were you always so giddy, and why was she so giddy and giggly? And for Veronica to be upset to say, oh, why is Adrian throwing my name in there? Why is Elliot saying anything? Because I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, you did. You did. From the moment you said you'd have preferred to be coupled up with this man, things have gone left for his couple, which tells me that you either did something or you said something that made him believe that you were the better option for him. Because why out of the blue is he in this position whereby he doesn't know what he's doing? I'm here for Jamie saying, if you want me, earn me. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to continue to put myself out there for someone who is not feeling me romantically. He's not feeling her that way. What's the point of her continuing to put herself out for a man who is not feeling her? A man who does not look like he possesses the emotional intelligence to give her what she wants in a relationship. She might as well keep it stepping and hope that she'll find somebody else who will feel about her the same way she feels about them. I'm so disappointed. I'm devastated for Jamie, because nobody deserves to be made to feel like that. And I hope the experts, if nothing else, they hold his feet to the fire. Not this nonsense that they've been doing with everybody else, but they actually hold his feet to the fire and ask him, what exactly do you want from her? What do you want? Do you want a relationship? If you want a relationship, then do as she said. You need to earn her. If not, allow her to go. Because there's no point in keeping someone in the experiment, allowing them to develop strong emotional feelings for you, knowing that you're not feeling them like that. Why not allow them to go? Why not save them the heartbreak? Because at the moment, Jamie's heart is breaking because she fell in love with someone. She was lying next to someone. She was planning a future with someone, thinking that they were going somewhere, only for him to turn around and go, not really. I hate that for her. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click on the link to watch my review from episode 27. Bye guys.